Welcome back to Andersen Acres. The quail are hatching. He's just hatched, so he's running around like a quail. And he has literally just hatched. Okay, now he hatched kind of weird out of this egg. So he hatched in kind of an odd position, but that's okay. So we have that little guy, and we have one egg there. We have another egg here, and then a fourth egg there. Now, I'm just going to turn it the other way so I can see. But this one, as far as I can tell, has one little pip. This egg, no, I don't see any pipping. And this egg, yes, I see a pip. So, how many eggs are going to hatch? There's no way to know. So this one for sure hatched. There he is. Little tiny baby. So he for sure hatched. And this is the evening of day 17. Okay? So it's been exactly 17 days since I set these eggs. I expect any eggs that are going to hatch will now be done in the next 24 hours. That's typically how long it takes baby quail to hatch. Okay, 24 hours. So what we want to watch for now is just any cracking of the eggs, I didn't actually catch him hatching, but see if we can catch any hatching, because that's always cool. So at this point, it's just about waiting. So we'll check in several times over the next 24 hours, and hopefully by tomorrow night, we will have between 2 and 4 babies. Remember, I'd be happy with 2. This is a young hen, eggs all from one hen. I started with 6, 4 made it to lockdown, 1 has hatched. If I got 2 eggs out of a hen this young, I would be happy. I mean, the hen is literally about 2 months old. So if I got 2 babies from her now, I'd be pretty happy about that. I expect a higher hatch rate as she matures a little. Ignore that. That's another set of eggs from her again, rocking. That's the Turner. So we are going to come back a few times in the next 24 hours to see if any more babies have hatched. So far it's just him. I want 2 at least. I would like 4. 2 will make me happy though. So yeah, he's very tiny. Got all his parts. He's got 2 wings, 2 legs, a feet. He's got feet, he's got eyes, and he's got a beak. So we are happy. He looks good, healthy, happy. He's wet right now. Important thing right now, while this is happening, do not open the incubator. So he's wet, he needs to dry. The other eggs need the humidity trapped in order to hatch properly. And if we open the incubator and he gets a cold breeze while he's wet, he's gonna die. So we're just gonna leave him. Don't open the incubator. Don't try and take him out. Wait until everyone is hatched and fully dry. So we'll check in a few more times over the next 24 hours. Alright, so it's been about 12 hours. Now this guy just hatched. There's nothing wrong with him, I promise. He's flipping and flopping because he literally just came out of the egg about 10 seconds ago. I wasn't quite fast enough to get the camera rolling. But he came out of the egg like 10 seconds ago. So now we have 2. It's about 12 hours after the first one hatched. It literally takes about 24 to 36 hours to be sure all your guys are hatching. So now we have 2. We're going to give it another 12 to 24 hours for this guy here. And then, oops, sorry guys. And then this guy here. Okay, so we have these 2 eggs that haven't hatched yet, and we have 2 that have. So this one actually has a pip. So we may have another baby within the next 12 hours. We may not. Again, they're not machines. They're eggs. They're living creatures. So we'll continue to check on these guys over about the next 12 to 30 hours or so from now before we decide that these eggs may not hatch, but they probably will, I hope. Anyway, we now have 2 babies. 2 little tiny babies. That's the first one that hatched. So he's walking around. This is the second one that hatched. Again, still not opening the incubator. Do not open the incubator. This little guy, he will end up getting all chilled and die. And these eggs that have pipped will, these eggs that have pipped will end up shrink wrapped. So this is our first little dude, looking good. And we will continue to check up on these eggs over the next 12 to 20 hours. And then I'm going to call it. So we'll continue on. All right, so the babies have hatched. This one's being an idiot and crawling inside there. We're not going to worry about that. So the babies have hatched. We have one egg that did not hatch and looks like it's not going to. That's okay. Perfect hatch rates are few and far between. You might get a perfect hatch rate on a small number of eggs here and there, but if 1 or 2 don't hatch, don't worry about it. He's not dead. He's just shoving his head in there because he's an idiot. Okay, if I lift this up a little bit... There we go. He's not dead. You're fine. Yeah, you're fine. So we have 3 little babies. And these 3 little babies, this is Sunday evening. The first one hatched out Friday night. So the rule of thumb is these babies can stay in the incubator for 2 to 3 days without food or water. Do not put food or water in your hatcher. Do not do it. So what we're going to do, today is 2 days since the first one hatched. You can leave them up to 3 days. I like to split the difference and do 2.5 days. So, here we go. So I am going to come back in the morning to put them in the brooder. I'm going to make a separate video about that. This one was just about the hatching. So if your temperature and your humidity did not go all crazy, your eggs will hatch provided they were decent eggs. So this was a young hen. It's okay that 2 eggs didn't fully develop, and it's okay that 1 egg didn't hatch. That's fine. It's totally fine. I don't expect that egg to hatch. Now, I'm going to leave them overnight because you never know, and also because these guys need to be fully dry. So they look pretty dry, but I'm just going to give them overnight one more time before I move them into the brooder. The next video, I'll talk about brooding quail. Okay, which is kind of interesting and slightly different than chickens, only because quail are stupid. I'm sorry, they are. We'll talk about that in the next video, where I'll talk about brooding quail and the many, many ways they might choose to die. So, quail are nuts, okay? If you've ever brooded baby quail, you will know that for those few weeks where they're tiny, those 3 weeks while they're tiny, they will look for ways to get themselves killed. That's kind of what they do. They're stupid. But we love them anyway because they're cute as little buttons. Look at that. How cute are these little button babies? They're freaking adorable. So we will come back tomorrow, and it'll probably be a week after this video is posted that the video gets posted. But we'll come back and I'll show you how to brood your baby quail. Because brooding is important. You can't just leave them in the incubator. You can't. You're not going to make it. You can't just leave them in there forever. So we are going to talk about how to brood your babies and how to look after your babies when they're little tiny guys. But for now, we just wanted to follow the hatching babiness that was happening in this hatcher. I will put a link, by the way, to this Brinsea hatcher. Probably an Amazon link or whatever link I have. I don't remember. But I really like this hatcher. It's actually an incubator. I use it as a hatcher. I like this one because it doesn't have a turner. It's very simple controls. It's quite manual. No weird stuff to go wrong. And it works accurately for basically ever. So I will put a link to this hatcher in case you're interested in getting one on your own. I'll try for Amazon because everyone can order from Amazon. But if I can't find it on Amazon, which happens sometimes, I'll put a link to a different store. If you're wondering what that is, that's baby quail that hatched last week. This is not the first go-round of quail that I've had hatching. So if you hear loud noises, it's the other quail. At any rate, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Good luck hatching your baby quail. And there's Tequila's head. Tequila likes the babies. So she likes to check out the babies. So yes, this is actually good for your livestock guardian dog too, to check out the little ones. She loves them. Anyway, that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.